Hello guys, you are welcome to my class. In this video, we are going to learn how to solve questions on determinant of matrices. Determinant of matrices. Then what is matrix? Matrix is an arrangement of elements in rows and in column. Arrangement of elements in rows and in column is called matrix. So the following examples on the board are matrices, because the elements inside this bracket are arranged in rows and in column. So this one consists of two rows. This is the first row, this is the second row. This is the first column, this is the second column. So this one consists of two rows and two columns. So we call it 2 by 2 matrix. 2 by 2 matrix. So this one also consists of two rows. This is the first row, this is the second row. This is the first column, this is the second column. So this is 2 by 2 matrix. So in this video, we'll be focused on determinants of 2 by 2 matrix. Determinants of 2 by 2 matrices. So let's start with question 1. So we are looking for the determinant of this matrix A. This is matrix A. Our matrix A consists of the following elements. We have 1, 3, 7, and 4. Now to find the determinant is denoted by two vertical lines. So this is the sign of determinant. So determinant A will now be equal to, so we are going to replace this bracket with sign of determinant. We are going to replace this bracket with sign of determinant. So replace the bracket with sign of determinant and put your element 1, 3, 7, 4. So what is the determinant of this A? What is the determinant? Just cross multiply, very simple. You cross multiply, then in this form. So the first one, the first element, we start with positive, then the second element with negative. Then don't forget that this is 2 by 2 matrix. This is 2 by 2 matrix because we have two rows. This is the first row, this is the second row. This is the first column, this is the second column. So we have two rows and two columns. That is why we call this what? 2 by 2 matrix. So you cross multiply in this way. So this one will go in this way, then the other one will go in this way. So this one, now 1 times 4. So your answer will now be 1 times 4. Don't forget that our 1 is what? It's positive. 1 times 4, then minus 3 times 7. 3 times 7. So 1 times 4 will give us what? Will give us 4. Then minus 3 times 7 will give us 21. So which is equal to 4 minus 21 will give us minus 17. So the determinant A equal to minus 17. Minus 17. So this is the final answer. So let's move to question 2. Is another example of 2 by 2 matrix because it consists of two rows and two columns. So here we are going to look for the value of x. X is an unknown value here. So that is why the matrix equal to 0. So our matrix consists of x minus 1, the first row, then and 4x. Then the second row we have 2 and 3 minus x equal to 0. So to find the determinant of this matrix, so we are going to replace our bracket with the sign of determinant. Then determinant is denoted by two vertical lines. Two vertical lines. So let's bring down our elements. X minus 1, then 4x, then 2 and 3 minus x equal to 0. So how are we going to find the determinant of this matrix? You cross multiply. You cross multiply in this form. So assign positive here to the first column, assign negative to the second column. So if you have more than two columns, so the next one will be positive. If you have 4 columns, another one will be negative. So you alternate the signs. You alternate the sign. So now, this one multiplied by this, then minus 4 multiplied by 2. So we are going to use x minus 1 to multiply 3 minus x. So x minus 1 multiplied by 3 minus x. Then minus, the next one is this one, so minus 4x multiplied by 2. 4x times 2. So let's open these brackets. We are going to use the first bracket to open the second bracket. X times 3 will give us 3x. So x times minus x will give us minus x raised to power 2. So we are going to use the second term inside the first bracket to open the second bracket. That is minus 1. Minus 1 times 3 will give us minus 3. Minus 1 times minus x will give us plus. Minus times minus will give us plus. Then 1 times x will give us x. Then minus 4x times 2 will give us 8x. So we are going to collect the like terms. So let's collect the like terms. So we have 3x, then plus x, minus 8x, then followed by minus x raised to power 2, minus x raised to power 2, then minus 3 equal to, don't forget that everything equal to 0. Minus x, then minus 3 equal to 0. So 3x plus x will give us 4x, then minus 8x minus x raised to power 2, then minus 3 equal to 0. So 4x minus 8x will give us minus 4x. Minus 4x. Then minus x raised to power 2. Then minus 3 equal to 0. So let this x raised to power 2 come first. So we have minus x raised to power 2. Then minus 4x minus 3 equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation because our x is raised to power 2. So we have to solve it quadratically. So I don't want negative to come first. I'm going to multiply this quadratic equation by minus 1 to cancel this what? The negative sign. To cancel this negative sign. So minus 1 times minus x raised to power 2 will give us x raised to power 2. That's minus times minus will give us plus. So this x raised to power 2. Minus times minus here will give us plus. 1 times 4x will give us 4x. Minus times minus 3. Minus 1 times minus 3 will give us plus 3. Equal to 0. Equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. So we are going to solve it quadratically. The coefficient of this x raised to power 2 is 1. Then multiply by the constant value 3. That's 1 times plus 3. So we give us plus 3. So we are going to look for two factors that when we multiply together that will give us plus 3. Then when we add together that will give us this plus 4. Two factors that when we multiply together that will give us plus 3. Then when we add together that will give us plus 4. So what are those factors? That's 3 times 1. 3 times 1 will give me 3. But 3 plus 1 will give me 4. So now we are going to have x raised to power 2. So we are going to replace it with these two factors, 1 and 4. So the 4x will change to 1x, which is the same thing as x, and 3x. So we are going to have plus x plus 3x. This plus x is 1x. So 1 times x will give us x. Then this 3 carries what? 3x. So plus x plus 3x will give us 4x. So plus this 3 that we have here, plus 3 equal to 0. Now, let's group them 2, 2. This one and this one together, this one and this one together. So what is common to x raised to power 2 and x is what? Is x. So x will come out of the bracket, x into bracket. So use x to divide x raised to power 2 will give us x. Now, x divided by x will give us 1. That's plus 1. Close the bracket. So what is common to 3x and 3? 3 is common to them. That's plus 3 into bracket. 3 divided by 3x will give us x. Then plus 3 divided by this 3 will give us 1. Equal to 0. Everything equal to 0. So bring what to have outside the bracket together. Since we have common terms inside the two brackets, so let's bring what we have outside the bracket together. So the first one we have x. Then from the second bracket we have plus 3. So we'll bring them together and we are going to pick one of these two terms. So which is x plus 1, then equal to 0. So now we are going to have x plus 3 equal to 0 or x plus 1 equal to 0. That is x plus 3 equal to 0 or x plus 1 equal to 0. So therefore the value of x will now be equal to, when you bring this plus 3 down to this side, it will change to minus 3. Then the second one, x, when you bring plus 1 down to this side, it will change to minus 1. So the value of x will now be equal to minus 3 or minus 1. So this is the final. Let's take the last question on 2 by 2 matrix. This one is a little bit different from question 2. A 2 by 2 matrix is equal to another 2 by 2 matrix. Then don't forget that 2 by 2 matrix consists of 2 rows and 2 columns. This one also consists of 2 rows and 2 columns. So our matrix consists of, the first one consists of 3x minus 1 and 2. Then the second column we have 5x and 1 minus x equal to, so the matrix at the right hand side we have 3, 4 and 1, 2. So to find the determinant, so this bracket will change to the sign of determinant. The bracket will change to the sign of determinant. That is 2 vertical lines. So let's bring in our elements. We have 3x minus 1 and 2. Then the second row we have 5x and 1 minus x equal to, so change this bracket to the sign of determinant. So 2 vertical lines. Then we have 3, 4 and 1, 2. So the next stage now, to find the determinant, you cross multiply. Cross multiply. Then assign positive to the first column, assign negative to the second column. So at the right hand side, you cross multiply. So assign positive to the first column, assign negative to the second column. So now you multiply 3x minus 1 times 1x. 3x minus 1 multiplied by 1 minus x. Then followed by this one. So we have minus, then 2 times 5x. 2 times 5x equal to, so at this side 3 times 2, this is positive, so 3 times 2, 3 times 2, then followed by this negative sign. We want to pick the next one. So negative sign, this negative sign will come first, minus 4 times 1, 4 times 1. So let's open the brackets. Use the first bracket to open the second bracket. So 3x times x will give us 3x. 3x times minus x will give us minus 3x raised to power 2. So minus 1 times 1 will give us minus 1. Minus times minus will give us plus. 1 times x will give us x. Then 2 times 5x will give us 10x. That is minus 10x equal to, 3 times 2 will give us 6. So 1 times 4 will give us minus 4. Now let's solve further. So now we are going to collect the like terms. Let's collect the like terms. We have 3x, then plus x, then minus 10x, then followed by minus 3x raised to power 2, minus 3x raised to power 2, then minus 1 equal to 6 minus 4 will give us 2. Will give us 2. So 3x plus x will give us 4x. Then minus 10x. Minus 10x. Then minus 3x raised to power 2. Minus 3x raised to power 2. Minus 1. Minus 1 equal to 2. So 4x minus 10x will give us minus 6x. 4x minus 10x equal to minus 6x. Then minus 3x raised to power 2. Then minus 1. Bring these 2 down to this place, we change to. This is positive. So by the time it's cross equal to, it will change to minus. So minus 2 equal to 0. So nothing here again. So now let's proceed. We have minus 6x. Let me bring the power of 2 first. So we have minus 3x raised to power 2, then minus 6x, minus 1 minus 2. You are owing someone 1 naira, you are owing another person 2 naira, so your debt will be minus 3. Minus 1 minus 2 is minus 3 equal to 0. Equal to 0. So I want to eliminate this negative sign because I don't want negative sign to come first. I'm going to multiply by minus 1. So minus times minus, we cancel this minus, will give us plus. So 1 times 3x will give us 3x raised to power 2. So minus 1 times minus 6 will give us plus 6x. Minus 1 times minus 3. Minus times minus will give us 3 plus. So plus 3 equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation. So we are going to solve it quadratically. We are going to solve quadratically. So the coefficient of this x raised to power 2 is 3. So that is 3. Then multiply by the constant value here is plus 3. So we give us 3 times plus 3 will give us plus 9. So we are going to look for 2 factors that we are going to multiply together that will give us plus 9. Then when we add together, that will give us plus 3. So what are those 2 numbers that when we multiply together will give us plus 9? Then when we add together will give us plus 6. So they are 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 will give me 9. So 3 plus 3 will give me 6. So I'm going to replace this 6 with 3x plus 3x. So now let me replace this 6 with 3x plus 3x. So we are going to have 3x raised to power 2. Then this 6x will change to 3x plus 3x plus 3x plus 3 plus 3x. So then plus 3 plus this 3 equal to 0. So let's group them 2, 2. Then what do they have in common? So we have 3x here, we have 3x here. So 3x is common to them. So we have 3x. Then 3x divided by 3x raised to power 2 will remain only 1x. 3 will cancel 3. X here 1, x in x2 will give us x. So 3x divided by 3x will give us 1. Then close the bracket. So what is common to them? There is 3 here, we have 3 here. So 3 is common to them. So we are going to bring 3 out. So 3 divided by 3x will give us only 1x. 3 divided by 3 will give us 1. So equal to 0. Equal to 0. Now, let's bring, since we have similar terms inside the bracket, so we are going to pick it as 1. We are going to pick 1. So let's bring what we have outside the brackets together. We have 3x, then plus 3. then into brackets. So this one and this one are common, so we are going to pick it as 1. We have x plus 1 equal to 0. Now finally, so we are going to have 3x plus 3 equal to 0, or the first one, 3x plus 3 equal to 0, or x plus 1 equal to 0. X plus 1 equal to 0. So for the first one, so 3x will now be equal to, bring this plus 3 down here, we change to minus 3. So to get the value of x, you divide both sides by what? By 3. So divide this side by 3. So 3 will cancel 3, so our x will be equal to 3 here 1, 3 here 1, that will be minus 1. So for the second one, we have x plus 1 equal to 0. So therefore, x will be equal to, bring this minus 1 plus 1 down to this place, will give us minus 1. So the value of x will be equal to minus 1. Since we have minus 1 here, minus 1, so the value of x equal to minus 1. Minus 1. So we have come to the end of this class. Remember to like, share, and leave comments. Please don't forget to like, share, and leave comments. See you in my next video. Bye.